What up, ninjas? Gajo here once again with another fabulous review. What we have here is Voyager class robots in disguise, Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime. Oh yes, I like this guy. Now, I know what you're all going to say. It's not first edition. You're damn right it's not first edition. It's awesome edition. Now, a lot of people would argue with me right away. No, Gage, this is not even close to as good as the first edition. The first edition's so much better because blah, 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 blah. I don't care. The thing is I don't want to pay $85 or $50 or anywhere near the amount of money that they cost right now. For one of those, I paid $20 for this guy. Absolutely acceptable price range, absolutely acceptable. Beyond acceptable robot. Love this thing. Now, the one thing that does bother me is this. Not the sword, because the sword is actually pretty cool, kind of like softer plastic, but it's still really nice. This. The gun. Now, I'm going to take the spring out of it or something so I can get the LED to work independent to the gun. However, mech tech is not dead, guys. It's still quite alive and happening in these toys. It's just that they decided to throw an LED light on it. And like so. So there you go. Fold that back up and then you get your basic toy. Very nice, though. I definitely like this guy. It's really clean. It's a lot more show accurate. It's a lot more well balanced. It's not really thin up in here and really tall up in here, and it's not disproportionate like the first edition one. This is like exactly what I would want from my Prime. Now, let's transform him. Flip down the sides of his trailer. Then you kind of grab these, and those will be as part of his legs, and those will fold down. And you separate his legs.
Oh.
Pull out his mouth, his little feeties here, and then set that down, and then there's his legs. No problem. Now, go on to the side. Get these unstuck here. These will fold down like so. As well. Let's see if I can get that going. This will fold down as well. And then all that will meet underneath. No big deal. We'll worry about that a little bit later. And then you got this, which is really actually kind of neat how this all works out. You separate his arms. You separate that and fold all that in. Let's see, we'll get his arms situated here. I'll turn it around if I can. There we go. Get that situated up here and turn it around. And there we are. So then we'll fold his shoulder pads in, we'll flip his arms around, flip his hands down, and there. Okay, so now he's pretty much almost there. Reveal the head, flip that up, make sure his backpack's straight, and I'll adjust the camera here. You want to make sure you can see through the back here. You can see the Autobot symbol in the back. You want to make sure you can see through the back because this whole assembly, when you adjust it, is going to flip up into his chest. Now you separate his windows. That's just you put your thumbs on it and just push out, and then boom. That'll fold up into his chest, and there are 3 pegs. 1 right here at the neck, and 2 behind the shoulders. And to get them pegged in, it's kind of a pain, but once you get them lined up and pegged in, it'll slide right in, pop in, it'll lock in, and it won't come out. And it's very tight too, so it's actually kind of nice how it stays in there. And then all for his backpack, it says to kind of like combine, these little things, but it just sets. It just rests. And there you go. Basically, got yourself Voyager class Optimus Prime. Frick yes. Now, these guys are what we call the Powerizer robots. Basically, they come with a little silly red LED, and yeah, that's about it. So, peg this onto his arm. That'll shove in there. Kind of straighten his arm out so that he can actually use it. And then you just pull it back, and boom, there he goes. He's got his gun. Nothing special. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. I would have much liked it a lot better if they would have just gave him his first edition weapons. I don't even care. Just give him his first edition weapons, because they're much better than this. But keep the sword. Definitely keep the sword, because the sword's really cool. Yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, I know what you are all going to say. Oh, look at those ugly blue arms. Look at that, all that blue clear plastic up in there. I don't mind it. I actually like it. It doesn't really take away from the Transformer itself. It doesn't really take away from the character itself. Actually, what it does is just kind of leave it in that relevant powerizer. There's an LED light, so you can make his arm glow kind of thing. And it is right, you know, if you get it down in this area, you can see it start making his arm glow, and it's kind of like the power shoots out of his arm into the weapon. That's what it's all about, like the energon flow, blah, 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 whatever. You know, we could make up a crap load of stories about this, but it's still not going to change the fact that this is the RID and not the first edition. That doesn't bother me. But I will get to you guys with a bunch of close-ups at the end, and I will get you guys with the ending of this wonderful review. And I will let you guys go on your merry way to make a decision about whether or not you want this guy. I would totally recommend this one if you do not wish to pay the wonderful $80, $50 price point on the first edition one. That is a definite. I would definitely not pay for the extra paint on this Transformer. I mean, essentially, it looks identical. However, there are some paint apps it's missing up in the chest. Its transformation is completely different, you know, and everything else. However, I do like it. I still like it, and there's nothing you can do to make me change my mind. I would totally recommend this for kids, for collectors, anybody. So don't let anybody bang you down about the whole, it's not first edition, because that just means you paid too much for it. So, Gajo, another review. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.